Good evening, welcome to the DBS Sports. Brian Calix sitting in for Kenson Kazime. We stroke off with news on cricket. The second test between West Indies and Sri Lanka bowls off here tomorrow at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground from 10 a.m. Both teams completed light training sessions earlier today at the match venue. Meanwhile, West Indies head coach Stuart Law expects stylish left-hander Kieran Powell to convert one of his many starts into 100 very soon. The 28-year-old has endured a frustrating run since his return to the test scene last year following a 3-year self-imposed break, getting a number of decent starts but managing just 3 half-century. Powell looked set to break the jinx in the opening test against Sri Lanka but fell agonizingly short of the 3 figures on 88 in the second innings. Much was made of the Queen's Park Oval pitch, which yielded 414 for 8, declared for the West Indies in their first innings, but then saw Sri Lanka dismissed cheaply in reply as the hosts went on to nail an emphatic 226-run victory on the final day. Law believes the strip was a decent one for Test cricket, where both batsmen and bowlers had a chance to excel. And we're hoping for the same at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground tomorrow. The group stages of the Flow SPL T20 came to an exciting end over the weekend, with 4 teams confirming their spots in the semi-finals of the tournament. On Friday, Choiseul Craft Masters demolished the Marbella Valley Renegades by 107 runs to virtually seal their spot in the semi-finals. Batting first, the Craft Masters scored a mammoth 216 for 7. In response, the Renegades limped to 109 all out in 16.4 overs. In the first match on Saturday, VA4 North Raiders kept their semi-final hopes alive with a hard-fought victory over the Groseley Knights, eliminating the young team from the north in the process. Raiders batted first and put up a decent score of 145 for 5 from their allotted overs. In response, Groseley looked in control after a handy 5th wicket partnership between Captain Dalton Polus, who made 49, and Mervyn Wells, who made 40. But the Raiders came roaring back, capturing the last 6 wickets for only 20 runs, with Groseley at one point cruising at 114 for 4. Groseley Knights managed to get to 134 all out from 19.3 overs, a narrow 11-run victory to VA4 North Raiders. That exciting match paved the way for what was expected to be another nail-biting encounter on the night, with South Cash's Lions, who had already qualified, coming up against the Soufriere Stumpers, who needed nothing less than a victory to go through. Batting first, the Lions struggled to 152 for 9 from their 20 overs. In response, the Stumpers made a meal of what was a moderate chase, crashing to 80 all out in just 15.2 overs. In Sunday's first encounter, VA4 North Raiders and Marbella Valley Renegades faced off in what was a virtual quarter-final, with the winner guaranteed a spot in the semi-final. The Renegades batted first and posted 185 for 3 from their 20 overs. In response, despite a valiant knock of 85 by Owen Edward and 43 by Kim Shalry, VA4 North Raiders fell just short by 6 runs after reaching 179 for 5 from their 20 overs. The group stages came to an end with Choiseul Craft Masters maintaining their 100% winning record in the group stages with a comfortable 41-run victory over the Groseley Knights. The group's games out of the way, the semi-finals and final have been set for June 22nd and 23rd at the Soufriere Mini Stadium. The semi-final lineup is as follows: June 22nd, 5 p.m. South Castries Lions, they take on the Marbella Valley Renegades, and from 9 p.m. Choiseul Craft Masters, they take on the Avatar City Blasters, who are the defending champions. The losers of the semi-finals will face off for the 3rd place on Saturday, June 23rd from 3:30 p.m., while the grand final is scheduled for the same date from 7:30 p.m. In tennis, the St. Lucia Association will host its annual Summer Junior tournaments. From the 3rd to the 11th of August, the Coca-Cola 18 and under ITF Junior Tennis Tournament for players who are between the ages of 14 to 18. From 10th to the 16th of August, the St. Lucia 14 and under COTEC Tournament for players 11 to 14 years old. And from the 13th to the 16th of August, the St. Lucia 12 and under Junior Invitational, and that's for players 10 to 12 years old. In football, the Women's District Championship, which began on the 17th of March with 7 districts participating, namely VA4 South, VA4 North, Groseley, Dennery Mabuya, Miku Deriso, Ancillary Roseau, and Soufriere Canaries, has now culminated to the Big Four, who are on the advent of the semi-finals and finals. The Ancillary playing field would be the venue where the semi-final and finals would be hosted. On Saturday, June 16th at 5 p.m., a formidable Dennery Mabuya, they take on Vieux North, and that game kicks off at 7 p.m. Football enthusiasts will witness at the Western Derby, the highly anticipated Ancillary Roseau team. They take on the Suffolk Canaries team, and those games have been played at the Ancillary playing field. The outcome will determine the teams who will advance to the finals and third place playoffs scheduled for the 23rd of June 2018. This Women's Championship was organized towards providing valuable playing time to the women and to aid in the process of selection for the national female team. In the region, Jamaica made it 2 wins in as many games in the Cricket West Indies Regional Women's T20 Tournament after beating the Windward Islands by 8 wickets in yesterday's encounter at Kensington Park. Jamaica's medium pacer, Chedan Nation, claimed 4 for 20 from 4 overs to help restrict the Windwards to 85 for 6 of their allotted 20 overs. Her skipper, Stephanie Taylor, spunked an unbeaten 36 to guide the hosts to 86 for 2, halfway inside the 15th over. The scores, the Windward Islands 85 for 6, of their 20 overs, opener Juliana Nero, she top scored with 27, while Pearl Etienne made 19. Jamaica 86 for 2, Natasha McLean, she made 20. Nation explained that lack of pace in the pitch worked in her favor. In the first game of the doubleheader at the Sabina Park, Guyana beat reigning champions Trinidad and Tobago by 7 wickets. Scores Trinidad and Tobago 64 for 8, Guyana 70 for 3. Well, we take a break, but when we return, Nicholas Poran included in the youthful West Indies B squad, and Canada, US and Mexico joint bid wins right to host the 2026 World Cup tournament. Thank you for staying tuned. Forgotten 2020 international batsman Nicholas Poran has been included in a youthful 14-man West Indies B squad, which will participate in the inaugural Global T20 Canada League starting later this month. The 22-year-old has played 3 T20 against Pakistan, who 2 years ago, but has not turned out for the regional side since. He is the only player in the squad with international experience. Poran has been joined by the likes of West Indies under-19 stars Alec Atanaz and Shamash Springer, with Guyana Jaguars wicketkeeper batsman Anthony Bramble set to lead the squad. Coach, with our Test and A teams currently on tour, the Global T20 presents an opportunity for the panel to see some of our developing players in the region, and coach Chief Selector Courtney Brown said. West Indies B will be one of 6 teams contesting the Global T20 Canada League, which runs from June 28th to July 15th at the Maple Leaf Cricket Club in Toronto. The round-robin preliminary round will feature 22 matches, followed by the playoffs and final. The West Indies international stars like Chris Gayle, Kieran Pollard and Andrew Russell, as well as Darren Sammy and Johnson Charles, are all down to turn out in the competition. Director of Cricket, Jimmy Adams, believes the tournament will be beneficial to the development of the group. Roddy Estwick, the former West Indies Test squad bowling coach, will lead the squad along with another former Windies coach, Stuart Williams. The full squad reads Anthony Bramble, the captain, Fabian Allen, Alec Atanaz, Ronald Ketu, Justin Greaves, Derval Green, Kavim Hodge, Brandon King, Jeremiah Louis, Obed McCoy, Kyrie Pierre, Nicholas Poran, Shafrin Rutherford and Shama Springer. In football, the 2026 World Cup will be held in the United States, Canada and Mexico after their joint bid beat Morocco's proposal to host it. The United 2026 bid was selected by FIFA member nations, winning 134 votes compared to 65 for Morocco. The 2026 tournament will be the biggest World Cup ever held, with 48 teams playing 80 matches over 34 days. The United World Cup will generate $14 billion in revenue and make an $11 billion profit for FIFA, says Cordero. Of the 16 host cities, 10 will be in the United States, while the remainder will be split evenly between Canada and Mexico. 60 matches will take place in the US, while Canada and Mexico will host 10 games each. The final will be held at the 84,953 capacity MetLife Stadium, which is home to the NFL sides, the New York Giants and the New York Jets. Finally tonight in golf, Tiger Woods returned to the US Open after a 2-year absence and 10 years removed from his 14th major triumph, says just having the chance to compete is pure bonus. The former world #1 watched last year's Open at the Erin Hills from afar, still in the early stages of his recovery from spinal fusion surgery and unsure if he would resume his golf career. As recently as last September, Woods still didn't know if competitive golf was in his future. It makes it a little easier for the intensely competitive superstar to take the ups and downs of his comeback in stride. Woods' season to date includes a runner-up finish at the Valspar Championship in March and a tie for 5th at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. In search of his first title since 2013, he says assessing the success of his comeback so far is a question of deciding whether to consider the glass half empty or half full. The weather is up next. Now to our thought to take you through the night. There is no greater wealth in this world than peace of mind. The DBS News continues. Please stay tuned.